What's up, YouTube? It's your boy here, AJ Red. Pretty much new to the scene here at YouTube. Starting commentary, just looking for new followers, new likes, just trying to make your day in some kind of way. So let's get started and jump right into some commentary real quick, okay? Let's get started. All right, so real quick, the one thing I was wanting to discuss, actually, the topic I had for tonight was actually, well, while I actually had my little sip or whatever have you. I'm actually been watching Porsha's Family Matters. I don't know if anybody else has been watching. I've been kind of waiting for the Housewife of Atlanta to come back. I haven't really seen a date yet as to when it's coming back. So if anybody knows, please drop down in the comments below and put a date so we can actually kind of know what to expect. But again, commentary for the night. Porsha's Family Matters. If you've been watching at any point, the video I actually watched was, well, the actual episodes I've watched are actually really funny. Again, if you've been watching as I have, following along, the whole scheme of this whole plot for the Family Matters with Porsha Williams is to get the entire family together. Dennis, her ex-fiance, Simon, her now fiance, and her father's side, her mother's side, and a plethora of other fucking friends that nobody apparently knows, including other family members. So the most recent episode I've actually seen was when they took the family vacation to Puerto Rico and Mexico. Let me just say, watching previous episodes, basically, I was intrigued by the show. So, shout out to Bravo for even coming up with the idea. But I was intrigued by the show in the beginning because it was actually Porsha Williams. I mean, I can't think of a person who does not love Porsha Williams. I know I'm a fan of hers. I loved her ever since, the Housewives of Atlanta, which she's presently still on from, the upcoming season that I know of, per hearsay. But anyway, diving right into this episode, season 13, I think this is a segue into the Atlanta Housewives season 13. But anyway, this particular season, or this particular episode, should I say, they were actually going on, like I said, a family trip to New Mexico, Puerto Rico. Plethora of people, Porsha, her everybody but her mom, her ex-fiance, like I said, Simon, other family members, her aunt, as a matter of fact, Aunt Elizabeth, Darlene. It's a plethora of characters here in this Family Matters situation that, if you watch again, you know of them. So again, the plot actually confuses me a lot. I watch, like I said, I follow Porsha even in social media, but it just confuses me a lot as to why she requested her sister Lauren to help get this trip together for some kind of family mesh, if you will, for, Dennis and Simon and all these other fucking people, like I said, we've never even heard of. But anyway, this particular night, they're arriving in Puerto Rico. It's the first dinner. Lena, which is the spiritual counselor that Lauren, Porsha's sister, actually invited, on the trip to actually help with the spiritual guidance, the healing process, and all this shit with the chakra and all that. And if you saw the episode, you kind of know what a chakra is. If you don't, kind of look it up. So they were at this dinner. It's Storm and Dennis and Simon, Aunt Elizabeth, Porsha, Lena, the whole fucking crew. So if you watch, like I said, if you watched the episode, you've seen it. So what I didn't understand was, one, the whole big hype they were talking about the fucking Versace robe from Dennis that he had left behind when he left and he and Porsha split. I honestly have been watching again for a while. I don't understand the big deal about her giving back the fucking robe. I'm just going to clearly say it. I mean, if you guys are broken up, you have no more feelings for this guy, other than the father of your child, you're actually looking to other bright beginnings, you have a new fiance whom you're so in love with, I don't understand why it pains you so horribly to return this man's belongings and separate yourself from them. I mean, fuck, find yourself getting more attached to Simon shit, fuck, wrap yourself up in his robe. I'm pretty sure he has a fabulous robe somewhere in his, his fucking closet or whatever have you. it was a whole debacle. The whole family almost fucking killed each other behind this robe. After several conversations about this robe, Lauren was like, cut the shit. I don't want to hear about the robe anymore. They've spent 15 minutes arguing about this fucking robe. So, they moved on to pretty much the chakra. Whoever had the chakra was able to speak their troubles or pains or whatever that has been bothering them, this kind of thing or whatever, at the table. And one moment kind of puzzled me. When Aunt Elizabeth got the chakra, and began to speak, one of the things that she said that actually kind of helped me make sense of the whole episode was like, she said, I don't even know why I'm here anymore. Like, I don't even know these people. I don't know you. I don't know you. I don't know you. And she kind of went around the table, speaking to people she didn't know and people she did know. And it was an eye opener to me to understand and believe that, okay, I have a reason to be as confused as I am, because I'm like, okay, if this is a situation or a family trip where you're trying to mend family ties. I mean, first of all, you're trying to mend time between, or mend a relationship or bridge a relationship there, should I say, between your former fiance, which is your child's father, and your current, which is totally understandable because you want to have a cohesive co-parenting measure, and you want everybody to be in on what's actually going on and know that everybody's comfortable, safe. We all have the same agenda. We all, have the same ideas when it comes to this parenting style. We're all on the same page. But, again, anyway, getting back into it, the dinner, it was just so fucking crazy to hear, people, the cousin Storm. If anybody watched Storm, it's like with me, she's just like a loose cannon. It's like, she's young. She's just willing to say whatever the fuck's on her mind, which is kind of, it's not really okay, especially when you're speaking to adults. I've never been one to say, well, just because someone's older, they can get away with saying shit to you, you can't respond. I'm not a believer of that. Sorry if that offends anybody. I'm sorry, but I do believe in respecting the elders. But this cousin Storm, she's just like attitude all day long, hell spitfire, anything you say to her, hello, it just sets her the fuck off. I don't even understand. But anyway, female issues. But in the aspect of when she spoke, Dennis made mention of her mom that spoke, prior to how her mom, she should be loving on her and shit like that. And they were like, wait a minute, you don't have the chakra, you can't speak. Let her talk. And he kind of agreed to that or whatever. He was like, she should love on her mom, da-da-da-da-da. We'll get to that shit in a minute. But so, she went off on him. And if you know anything about them, she's worked for him prior several times in the weenie business, in the hot dog industry, whatever have you. And she's pretty much failed at, maintaining employment with him. Let's just say that. I don't know the full fucking story, so I'm not going to really, I can say what he said, to keep shit level, but I don't want to get into that. And yeah, so like I said, it's my first video. I don't want backlash over shit like that, but I know it's yet to come, and I'm prepared for it, so, or whatever. So anyways, with Storm, loose cannon. So Des kind of quietly, settled down to let her speak, and she was still going to fuck off on Londi, the other cousin of Porsha's, just wilding out. So when he gets to Chakra, he's speaking and shit. Dennis, I'm speaking of, she's going in. And mind you, she was like, she don't know nobody. She don't want no fucking body. She ain't trying to mend no relationship. She don't know the people at the table. So I'm like, well, my thing is, boo, if you didn't know no fucking body, why did you show up? Why did you even come? Maybe the television time, I don't fucking know. I don't know who got paid for this shit, but I'm just saying, like, maybe the television time, or maybe the exposure, just wanted to be seen. I mean, maybe that's what your calling is now, because, bitch, we know you can't keep a job at a hot dog hut, so maybe you're trying your hand at television. Anyway, that's here nor there. Anyway, so they went at it, and they couldn't come to a concise decision on their conversation. Excuse me, it's the shit's kicking in already. A decisive agreement on the conversation of their argument. So by this time, his mom had stepped out claiming that she had some shellfish allergy or some shit. And he got up and decided to walk out from the little dinner and say, you know what, told the girl, you need to shut the fuck up. Everybody got up in arms when he told her to shut the fuck up. I don't understand that. Sometimes people do need to be told shut the fuck up. Or sometimes you just want to, especially if you're walking away, you want to walk away and end your shit right. You don't walk away like some fucking sucker. I'm walking away, but be ye reminded, bitch, like, I ain't scared, Or my words still mean some shit. I'm going to talk my shit on the way out. But I'm leaving because I don't want to fuck some shit up. I've been there many a day, so I understood. But as he was walking away from the table, anyways, she was still yelling, stuff or whatever. Storm was, and so, old boy just yelled out, shut the fuck up. Everybody just went crazy, ballistic. And so, what fucked me up was like, okay, at the end of the day, the chick was being up in everybody's business. Nobody else could speak. When her mom was speaking to her, the bitch didn't want to say nothing back. They say speak when spoken to. When you was spoken to, you still ain't want to say shit. But I feel like she's jealous of Porsha, and maybe at some point she wanted to try having a dentist. That's what Dennis said anyway, at least. But moving on, his mom got all upset and yada, yada, yada. And she wanted to walk in and say some shit about that. And he grabbed her and dragged her away. And then Porsha goes outside to console Storm like she really had been through some shit. Prior to what she had confessed on this episode with, some abuse with someone. Won't get into that. Also just looking at the fact of Porsha just all pissed off and saying the man wrong for leaving and he wanted the men shit. The man agreed to men shit, but he didn't want the men shit with a whole bunch of motherfuckers he didn't know. Bad enough he got to do it on the camera in front of like millions of fucking people. Now you want him to sit ringside in front of motherfuckers that he shouldn't even give a fuck about what they think about him. Other than how he treats his daughter, because how he treated Porsha is pretty much clearly out the fucking window. She's on to another life, he's on to another life, which we'll get to that part here in a minute. But she was so Storm is just so bitter. I hope she gets some therapy. She and her mom, because her mom was on some other shit. Falling out of the table, getting all emotional. I'm inclined to think, maybe she's a drinker. We haven't figured it out yet. Or maybe she's just an emotional person. She's going through some spiritual shit. I don't know. So I guess we'll read into that and go about it as the episodes go on, which I don't think there's a whole lot more of them left. But of course, I'll keep you guys updated as you follow. And of course, on some other stuff that I have lined up. But back to this with Porsha. He leaves, he goes, to his hotel room and all this different stuff. Now, mind you, they didn't put this man in, Lauren got this man in a hotel room with her and their cousin so they can babysit him and shit and make sure he's not having other women or company of the female persuasion on this trip, which I think is kind of weird. That's double-sided. But anyway, they went through that whole debacle. The next day, they're supposed to go through their shit and heal and show up at the little, what do you call it? When they go and do the little yoga shit, the meditation that Lauren was hosting. Only one who showed up was Aunt Elizabeth, Lauren, cousin Londo, and Lena, the spiritual counselor, and Dennis. So where the fuck was Porsha? She was so upset about last night she didn't show up to her own shit. You asked for this entire trip and yet you showed up to nothing. But anyway, they showed up at the spiritual guidance, which I think could have been helpful for everyone. Excuse me, I'm spitting over my words and shit. It's probably too many of these crowns. But anyway, maybe my lips just need some moistening. But I think it could have been healing for all of them had they participated and not so been hell bent on the night before. That's why I say people get so hell bent on one action from a person, and that kind of shows your intention towards people altogether. If you gonna start some shit and you say, "Oh, I didn't mean to," shit just happened wrong or caught me in a bad moment, or you rubbed me wrong, came at me the wrong way. That's one way of judging it. But if you're a person of second chances and you really want to make shit work with someone or people in general, you keep at it. If they mean anything to you, and this trip was supposed to mean something to everyone that went on it, you have been there for the healing process, all of it. So anyway, went through that. They showed up. They had the little, ceremony. They did their meditation, and they had to close their eyes and think back on a moment of someone that really irritated them, and how they can actually inhale that and exhale it in a positive way, and learn how to deal with those people without lashing out. And I think it was hard for all of them. I mean, fuck, having seen the episode from last night, and then the flashbacks in each one of them's mind as it went along in that segment and in that portion of it. There was somebody at the dinner that irritated every fucking body. So I'm like, again, I don't understand. If you didn't know the whole confounds of why you were going on this fucking trip, why did you even go? Why did you even go? Honestly, unless it was for the free trip and, like I said, the television time. So moving on from that, Lauren was hurt because Porsha's, this was all Porsha's idea. She asked Lauren to set all this shit up, and she didn't even show up to the fucking meditation, which, like I said, could have been good for her. Could have been good for them all. In that moment, Lauren and Londa, the cousin, they're all figuring out now that, what is Dennis doing? He texting and all this extra shit, and, what's up? So basically, they're figuring out now he's inviting some female companionship along this trip. And now that's all the buzz. So let's get to that shit. That's all the buzz. So now they're going through the motions of, if Porsha finds out that Dennis brought a girl to the trip, she's actually going to lose her mind. She's sharpening her knives and all this yada, yada, yada. Well, if I felt like if Porsha was all about a cohesive family for her daughter's sake, you got engaged to a man in a matter of, I think, less than a month. If then, and not knowing all of his mannerisms and bringing him around your daughter. So maybe this dude maybe Dennis has been dating this young lady for quite a while, and, felt like since this was a family trip, okay, well, shit, all ago, maybe this is the time to actually introduce her to everyone. A soft introducing, a soft opening, a little soft introduction. See how well Porsha did with her anger management during the Atlanta Housewives Day when she was laying bitches out left and right, slaying them in the spirit. But maybe that's what he was thinking. He was actually thinking, this can be an introduction. Shit gonna happen anyway. He was like, and with all these people that I don't know, and Porsha and other family and his mama and cousin, he's like, it's bound to be some shit already. So why not go ahead and throw this shit up there and deal with all this shit at one time on this one little trip, and then maybe when we get back, we can all have cooler heads, sit down and have a drink, and figure out where the fuck we can go with this parenting thing and this family method that Porsha has apparently had this epiphany on, and apparently she has had this gift that God has only given to her. God has only given her this vision. So, but yeah, that means they lead the little meditation. They're all in the uproar about him bringing the girl, the cousins, and whatnot. So now the following day, it's time to go on this field trip. They always do a little field trip, a little 1-2, go out there and, play in the bush with some cows or some shit. A real nice little retreat on the beach, some swimming hole, always some shit that's supposed to be spiritual but still ends up with somebody, telling a bitch in a subtle way I need to stop drinking. In a subtle way that I still don't like you. I still haven't forgiven you for the shit that we've gone through in the last, few seasons or a few years, and the shit that you said that I said I got over. That's one thing I can't stand, somebody to say, oh, I'm over some shit, but then turn around and stick your ass real quick. And don't just stick your ass with that same dagger, but they stick that bitch with it hot. So you can keep reliving that pain and feeling it over and over again. But anyway, I felt as though she was kind of wrong they were wrong for feeling this way about this man bringing this lady. But anyway, so they're headed to the retreat, to the little field trip, the little 1-2. And so everybody's getting on the bus and they're thinking, oh God, please, Lord, don't let Dennis bring this bitch, cause, Porsha's subject to kill her. And he's thinking to himself, he's like, fuck, I ain't gonna bring her because in the end, Porsha's probably gonna try to drown this bitch or try to shove in the water somewhere in the lake and fuck up her 92 piece. style cut or whatever you want to call it. Y'all call it 38 pieces, whatever the fuck it is. Y'all be putting in glue and sewn, whatever. But anyway, he was scared that Porsha was going to retaliate against this woman. It was going to get a little too physical. Which, in hindsight, looking at it, it probably was best because when the producers asked Porsha, it was like, if he brought this woman to us on his trip, would you be okay with, or would you be up to, meeting her? And she was like, I ain't matured that much yet. So that's pretty much code for no. If I see her, I'm 9 times out of 10 gonna cut the fly the fuck up. So, being an orator kind of gets you. Being an orator kind of it gets you parched. But so yeah, it was just fucking crazy. So they get on this bus. Porsha's running late as she always have been, always do. And get on the bus and they talking shit and, getting ready and discussing this lady and stuff like that and other shit that's going on. They head down to the old swimming hole, which is supposed to be some kind of healing water where everybody get down there. And I don't know what the fuck was going on with this season or this episode, but everything seems to have a symbol or a meaning. A stick. They kept breaking out the chakras, the sticks, the pipes, and all this other shit. So get down to the old drag swimming hole and they broke out another stick with some feathers on it and some shaking bells and shit like that. Or what you call them, or Wiki Wakanda. And so Lena was like, everybody got to hold a stick and talk your shit. When I say talk your shit, her words were, let me be frank, or say it the way she said it. You have to hold the stick and express your emotions and your feelings. My hair look like a fucking cockatoo in the back. Gotta get that fixed. Anyway, hold the stick and express your feelings for someone here, and there's something that you're trying to let go of, or basically not so much as someone here. Some shit you're trying to let go of, whether it's within yourself or whatever. Basically within you. What do you want to let go of and do better with yourself? Kind of like a New Year's resolution is what I kind of took it as a self-change, which we all need to take those moments to self-reflect and think about, I've been told, some stuff about my attitude. Which I'm not an attitude motherfucker. It's just sometimes I have a tendency to speak out and say what's really on my mind, and I think it bothers people or it offends people because they never expect it to come from my mouth, because I'm always the quiet one in the room and I'm always the reasonable, sweet, oh my God, type shit. So, but anyway, having to stop, not be negative and shit like that. But anyway, everybody needs that cleansing every once in a while. That self-cleansing of shit you want to get rid of, or shit you want to turn over or do better in your life, and not be the same old, or the same old fucking nag. Or in your relationships, you want to do some shit new or bring some shit new to the table. You want to be a better person, a better you. Not just for everybody around you, because motherfuckers don't want to be around you when you like that, but for yourself, it gives you self-peace. And so I understood the exercise, and I wanted it to happen, but I was like, something is going to interrupt the flow of the spirit. And sure the fuck enough, a couple of times it did. Two of the true meanings I can actually say with that episode, that the two people that I can actually respect and actually would feel where they were coming from when they actually had the shake stick, was Aunt Elizabeth and Dennis. It may have not been shit that motherfuckers wanted them to say or that people wanted to hear, but they said some real shit. Dennis was like with the stick, he was shaking, and Wild Manu and Owe, whatever the incantation was. He was like, I want to, stop thinking more about what people think about me and get out of my own head and think better about myself and be a better person for my daughter and be more focused on myself and my daughter and not be more focused on other people. That to me was some real shit. That would have been some shit I would have said. Not having children, of my own, I still would have, that would have been my focus, especially in that group setting when I knowing what the intent is for everyone to cleanse and kind of confess a better part of yourself that you want to manifest, that you want to see come true or be better in, a better aspect of your life. And to me, I feel like it may not have been heartfelt to everybody else, but I actually could understand where he was coming from. It was real. And other motherfuckers were snarling and shit, They were stuck in dill pickles and fucking, salty dill pickles. Unfortunately, had no lemonade so on standby for their situation. No water. But anyway, like I said, Aunt Elizabeth, she was like, she wanted to let go of the pain and all the stuff that she went to as a 9-year-old girl, marching and being arrested for marching for rights that she should have automatically had. And to this day that she's concerned about, we're all concerned about as, colored people. These are concerns. When you get a show like this and when you get the opportunity to be on a show like this, and honestly, again, my platform, I plan to expand. And these are issues or conversations or topics I plan to discuss, and I actually want to hear from others. Conversation is healing. And that was a healing point for them all. And again, Aunt Elizabeth took a golden moment in the opportunity, and she said what she felt. It actually brought her to an emotion of tears. Not knowing I can't imagine being 9 years old and walking with my mother and having to march with my parents in hopes for rights that we're able to drink from fountains, the same fountains as others, and go on the front doors and have civil equal rights that we're supposed to have. And everybody is supposed to be just given on just, honestly, on just the pretenses of being a human. And the moment touched me. I understood just where she was coming from. I can't say I understood exactly because I have never been there as a 9-year-old. But having my own experiences, in my lifetime and seeing others, and seeing that God's amazing grace brought me beyond, places that I've seen others that I could have been, that I made it out of. But anyway, that was one of those heartfelt moments that I was speaking of that was actually utilized in the proper manner in which Lena and Lauren was seeking in this moment. So we're moving on to, because there's so much other shit to cover, I need to go ahead and move through this. So moving on to Storm getting, I'm gonna say her mom. Let's go ahead and talk about Storm's mom. What a pill. Aunt Darlene. Woo, buddy. God diggity dang damn. Listen. Being on a motherfucking show like this, I can understand. Like, I would probably have to be on lithium, or definitely on a constant flask, or I would have to be in a constant state of meditation. So I can imagine how Lena and Lauren felt when their spirits were disturbed with all this bullshit. Because with being around them motherfucking people like that, with all this shit going on, my family can tell you, I raised more motherfucking hell than the crocodile did when the pond went dry. I've calmed down a lot with that because I'm not an angry person, but when it's stuff like, people are trying to mend and you're blocking the flow of that's an angry spot for me. Why are you trying to block a fucking healing? But anyway, moving on, Aunt Darlene, fruit basket. She got the shaking stick and she got to talk about her relationship with Storm, got the bucking and wiggling and all of those shit, having Baptist fits, in the Kojic atmosphere and falling the fuck out. And talking about how she want a better relationship with her daughter. I'm saying, well, you wait to get on TV to tell everybody now you got a problem with your motherfucking daughter. And you mentioned at the dinner, it was about you not having time for your daughter when she was growing up because you were busy working in the profession and all this different shit here. Well, looking at your clothes, I'm not going to say you made it, but fuck your clothes. Say you at least got a coin, so why you not trying to pay for therapy or something for you and your daughter to get you all back on this level and this platform that you all want her to be on, since you were not there, from your words, not mine, Aunt Darlene. Get you all back on that level that you claim and you falling out having Baptist fits and shit. telling everybody, because every time she had an opportunity to speak, that's all the fuck she talk about. The relationship between her and Storm. So it's like, I've been played out on this shit alone already. So she falls the fuck out, screaming and wiggling and shit. The ushers, they had to call the ushers and shit from the bike. Oh, I'm sorry. That was my friend's turn. My good friend, Funky Neva. I love you. You are one of my idols. You're one of the reasons I even decided to do this shit. It's actually fun. Just shout out to Funky Neva. Love you, boo. But anyway, but yeah, the ushers and shit got to come in and grab on her and catch her and carrying on. She falling out, all this shit, acting a nut. When she could have easily said, you could have gotten emotional. That's acceptable, but why not tell your daughter, I'm sorry. Some shit got fucked up. I was too busy paper chasing, and I let some shit slip. I let some shit get away from me. And as a mother, that was wrong with me. It hurt me, and I'm sure it's hurting you. I can see it. I'm sorry, and I want to mend that relationship. Will you allow me, will you forgive me and allow me that moment to try and mend that relationship, to try and gather a closeness for us, a mother-daughter bond that you keep falling out on the TV about in front of people. I mean, because at the end of the day, why do you need a crowd to tell somebody you love them? Trust me, I'm sure it's great. It's a great measure to use. It's a great tool to use, because you get to, expand your confounds and let the whole world know, let everybody know how much you love this person. But have you started behind the scenes on working on mending that relationship? Have you started already talking to Storm? You know what I'm saying? Having conversations like, we need to have a little brunch, a little powwow, a little come to Jesus, a little Amazing Grace. Have a little walk with the Lord. And I feel like the way she was acting, it's like she haven't even done that. So it's like you putting on TV to gain. I feel like to me it was like to gain sympathy from people and make it kind of look like Storm wasn't accepting you and she didn't want to have a relationship with you. She just don't want to be bothered with you. I mean, I can honestly say I didn't hear her say that from her mouth. So if anybody knows anything different, drop down in the comments. Let me know what you heard or what you might have previously heard them say, prior to knowing them yourself. You know what I'm saying? Shit, let me know what's up. But I never heard Storm say she didn't want a relationship with her mom. She did she kind of always minutely, acknowledge the fact of the things that her mom was saying and that she did love her and she did kind of want a relationship with her. She wasn't totally opposed to the idea. So I feel like that should give hope. Moving on, Porsha. Well, I'm gonna say, I think Gina. Dennis's mom had a moment. I want to say I'm on the fence with her with the heartfelt shit. I don't know how to feel about it because she done fucked over Porsha, with the back and forth, watching them. She on her side, then she not on her side. She on her side, then she not on her side. Then she on the medium. Just keep your medium and just stay the fuck out of the business. And that'll keep a whole lot of shit down. But she was saying how if I've offended anybody, I'm sorry. And I agree with Porsha when she says if. When you mean some shit, I from a personal experience, I say for me, I had to learn too. You can't go to somebody when you hurt their feelings or you broken their heart or you know that you've offended them by something you've done, your action. It's not the best measure to go to someone and say, I'm sorry if I've offended you. I'm sorry if I've broken your heart. I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. 9 times out of 10, you know if you broke a motherfucker heart. You know if you hurt their feelings. You know if you done some shit to offend them. So why not just go to that person and say, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for hurting you, for hurting your feelings or breaking your heart or offending you. It was not my intention. Sometimes I say shit, unintentionally, but I do care about you. You are important to me, as a person. I care about your feelings, and that's not what I really meant that's not what I really meant by what I said. But people are nowadays like, fuck that bitch, I said what I said then, so, need me first. I said what I said, and that's all it is to it. Just adopt a more forgiving mentality, y'all. But don't be a fool. Love the ones you love, spread the forgiveness and stuff like that. But anyway, so moving on with this, so we can wrap up. Mama said that, Dennis' mama said, if I offended anybody, I'm sorry. She cried and all that stuff, shed a few tears. That offended Porsha. Shit Gina said, and I hope I'm getting her name right. And the shit that Dennis said offended Porsha. So when Porsha got the stick, she was like, well, shit, I got a problem, a whole lot of shit. I got a lot of shit to say. And she rehashed the shit. Nobody really spoke on it. Because, again, I know it's all for TV, but at the end of the day, just talk to a motherfucker off camera sometime. I know it's all good for TV. Lauren got the stick. Miss Aunt Elizabeth said, shit, Lauren, you need to talk some shit, because, you've been having a time, you've been putting all this shit together. Say something. Get some shit off your mind. So Lauren says, I'm hurt by, Porsha not showing me the meditation situation and all that shit there. Sorry, tongue got dry. Probably drunk too. And she had a right to feel the ways, because you asked this girl, to set this shit up, and then you go getting in your feelings instead of talking to your sister, who is open on a lot of stuff. Your sister, I think, Lauren is a good sister. She might have been angry about some shit. She might have been, had a little resentment or some shit like that, or maybe had a little animosity, a little jealousy towards her sister Porsha for the fame and shit. But Porsha always had her along for the ride. But you could have stepped to your sister and said, hey, look, and both of y'all get in the same mind space. I tell my siblings and shit the same shit all the time. Motherfucker, y'all get along with outside motherfuckers better than y'all get along with each other. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but you make sure you keep your family close. Because when they're gone, it's a problem. But anyway, moving on to other shit, finishing up this here. Lauren was kind of hurt by it, you know what I'm saying? But it seemed like she was almost used to being hurt by Porsha, but she still wanted to get her feelings out because she's on this spiritual journey. That's what she's doing, and that's what she's used to, speaking her shit. But she does it in a lot more calmer way than others, especially in their family, because, child, they got some beautiful hearted people, look and some nice looking folk, but them motherfucking people is crazy. Like Porsha seemed like to be been one of the same ones when she whooping ass taking names after church on Atlanta Housewives. But they seem like a beautiful group of people. If they all just sat down and actually heard each other out and actually not interrupt each other and actually talk, I think they would get a lot further than what they're getting. In the end, last note, I'm going to let y'all go because I got to go ahead and get out of here myself. But last note on this here. So the last night of, I'm not going to say the last night, but on here, the next night, dinner. Everybody shows up to this last little dinner here that night, except Dennis. And this was the funny part. And I was waiting for this shit to really hit the fan. Dennis didn't show up to dinner. Everybody showed up. Mama Gina showed up the fuck early. She showed up early dressed, hair done the way she like it done. With her little get up on her phone in hand, and she already had, listen, she already was looking like the motherfucking Grinch when she walked up in the door. She already knew she about to let them hoes have with the information that she was packing. She had bullets left for each and every last one of them motherfuckers. She came in there with a motherfucking Tommy gun, you feel me? Full of information, and she had, and there only was one bullet, honestly, one bullet. Loaded information, but she knew that one bullet was gonna knock down a lot of shit. It was gonna cause a lot of chaos and a lot of stir. Which it did. It did. I mean, the buzzing cousin had already been hitting the fan and shit, with the chick had dropping into town, so everybody got down to the dinner and whatnot, sitting there and chit-chatting and whatever, talking shit. Gathering, finally getting there, and they put the camera on Dennis' seat, and they're like, well, fuck, where Dennis at? Dennis was like, shit. The cousin was looking around, and I don't understand why the fuck the ex-assistant is even there. Is he still on payroll? Is he just a friend, honey? Because if that's the case, I need friends like that. Even if a matter of fact, a job like that, even if I don't, y'all, I don't work with y'all no more, y'all fire me, I fucking quit, whatever it is. The bottom line is, I'm still gonna be hanging around, possibly on the payroll, or at least fuck getting free trips out the deal, if nothing else. I'm just saying. But I don't even understand why he was there. The assistant, her current assistant, I kind of understand because at the end of the day, she is the current assistant. So she is assistant Porsha. But bang, 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 bang. Mama Gina couldn't wait to leave around and deliver the news to them hoes. She was like Santa Claus. Special delivery bitches. Listen. Like the stork. So when they had the camera on Dennis's assigned spot, and he wasn't there, people were like, oh, where Dennis? Oh, where Dennis? Oh, where Dennis? Where Dennis? Oh, where Dennis? The cousin and all them old different shit to my where Dennis at and whatever. And they put the camera on Mama Gina's face, on Dennis's mama face, and you could just see how when the more they asked and buzzed about where Dennis was at, the more she was fucking grinning and having a good time with this shit. And they was asking amongst themselves at first, and she was like, shit, bitch, I'm gonna sit back here. Aha. I ain't gonna say shit until one of you bitches decide to ask me. So, and what I saw from her in my mind it's like, when she spilled the beans, it's gonna be some shit like, well, I didn't say nothing to them. They asked me. I just answered a simple question. That's all I did. And she just answered a simple question, and she didn't answer that bitch firmly and very aggressively and very, very assuredly. She was like, look, Dennis is not coming tonight. He won't be here. Oh, he has a friend that's in town. It's her birthday, and since she's here, he's gonna be spending the evening with her. The only real hairs that didn't roll was like Londa's and motherfucking Lauren, because they already smelt this shit. They was already whiffing it out, sniffing this man up down the halls in the hotel room. They had already put this man in the motherfucking PlayStation down to the Pepper Pot Playhouse next to them to babysit and watch him, make sure he didn't have no women's up in there. But that man said, fuck that. He said Porsha was gonna be up in that bitch doing the funky Watusi. And if you heard him, if you was listening to him watch the episode, that man said, fuck that. Why should he the only one be up in there holding his dick in his hand? Excuse my French. Why should he be over there holding his dick in his hand for 4 days? Because he just couldn't keep it in his pocket, London there, for 4 days? No. That shit ain't fair. If Porsha got her fresh meat over there and she's saying it's going to be an all-family thing, then let that man bring his woman too, bitch. Everybody needs to get to know this bitch if she's going to be around your daughters. Just saying. At least meet the woman. Try to get to know her. If you serious about this shit, I honestly feel like you still in love with Dennis a little bit, Porsha. I'm sorry. But anyway, like I said, Mama Gina was laughing. She giggled that shit up. And then Porsha gonna sit there like a nut after they pull her away from the table. Lauren and them. When I say Lauren and them, because every motherfucking Bible was in the bit naive. So Lauren, I think, and Lundy pulled her aside to the back. They say Dennis got a girl here. He with his girl. Some girl he brought him. I don't know why he brought the girls to the island. And Porsha was just like, okay. Okay, what? And the thing I love too, Simon and Dennis actually, I skipped that part. Simon and Dennis actually had a brunch, and I think that was a real manly, respectful brunch. When Simon had told Dennis, you need to talk to your mama, you should talk to your mother, and ask her to stay out of your business. And Dennis agreed politely. He said, I talked to my mom and told her there's some things you shouldn't be in. It's for me and Porsha. We're the parents of her. So I cherish that. I cherish that moment between them two, because in the end they both, was dealing with the same woman. They know a good bit of her ways. Simon seemed like he ain't taking a lot of shit. He already say, bitch, he got a moving company on text. I'm like, Dennis, Porsha, while you about that motherfucking Versace robe, seems like Simon ain't gonna give you the opportunity to keep a motherfucking thing of his, because guess what? He plans on when that rider truck pulls up, he plan on having all his shit packed and ready. You ain't keeping a mammy, motherfucking sweet baby boomer thing of his, period. He said, naked I didn't come, and you rest a motherfucking show naked I shall not leave. He said when he done with you, he done with you. He backs up the moving truck. has the means come in, pack up all his shit, and move it out. He don't fuck around. Now that's some money. You done this shit 5 times? Don't play with him, Porsha. Anyway, wrapping this up, because I'm running over my time, but wrapping this up in the end, like I said, the dinner that last night was just really, it shed some light on some shit. It still says to me that Porsha's a lot of this honestly said to me that Porsha's still in love at some point with Dennis. Simply because, why are you so upset about what he does? And, if you put it like this, I can see if you all had just recently broken, which is kind of fresh, but you got you somebody. So if you got you somebody, why are you so upset about it? And if I was Simon, I would be actually upset. Hey, look. So real quick, Simon made one request. He was like, when we get back home, pack up all that man's shit and send it to his motherfucking address. That's a real man's request. So now, Porsha, you ain't got no choice but to respect and honor that man. That man said, pack that man's shit up and send that man's shit to him. That's that Versace robe and whatever other memorabilia you got that you hooking on to up in that house that you need to get rid of. But the episode ended, y'all, with Porsha coming back to the table and texting Dennis's mother and asking her, do you know that Dennis is with some girl here, and Dennis got a girl here and that he's with her, and that's why he's not here tonight, yada yada yada. I can't paraphrase, but in so many words is what it said in text. And I'm thinking to myself, bitch, while you was away talking to Lottie and Batty, Lindo and Londo and Lauren and Leland and whoever else, his mom was telling him what was going on. She was telling everybody that the man had a girl out there on the beach and it was a lady's birthday and he was catering to her for her birthday. He didn't feel like going through a calamity with y'all sitting there arguing. He could have been getting in some booty. Quite frankly, if I was him, I would have chose that same option. He ain't getting no booty from you no more. He's sitting around everybody else being judged at every corner and turn. You know what I mean? And trying to give some kind of effort. I ain't saying he's the greatest guy, but he's giving some kind of effort coming on this trip. He getting paid too, I'm sure. But having said that, to say this, y'all, the episode, this Porsha Family Matters, it's not all what I thought it was going to be. It's not as great as I thought it was going to be. It's actually a pretty decent show, drama feel, some funny shit going on. Some crazy shit going on, some confusing shit is going on. I'm waiting for the next episode that comes out, that airs actually on January 2nd. I'll be doing another video and commentating on that and see where you guys are with that. Hopefully you guys, was kind of feeling the video. Love the commentary. Maybe you guys have some commentary of your own to add to it. Maybe there's some things that you saw that I didn't see, which I'm pretty sure, least likely, but shit happens. But, and also, some points that I didn't touch on that you guys may have seen to be a little more important, or that you may have seen to be the highlight of the episode. I'm fucking up my words here, y'all. This crown and shit, and I gotta go to work in the morning and shit. But you know how that go. But yeah, so hopefully I gain a following. I'm gonna keep putting these videos out. There's more to come. Again, I'm your boy AJ Red. I'll be around. I'll be posting these videos. I have some other commentary that I'm gonna begin posting also for you guys. But let me know what you think about tonight's video. Again, next video, like I said, I'll be giving you updates on when we're gonna have that video coming out. Again, the episode airs January 2nd of 2022, and during that time, I'll be bringing some updates on that episode coming and kind of getting in your timeline and all this other stuff, and on YouTube, and with some other commentary and some other topics. And again, I would love for you guys to like and subscribe and leave comments and let me know how well I did with my first video. And anything you guys liked, anything you guys didn't like, anything I can do better, I'm here for it. I'm an open-minded guy, when it comes to suggestions. I plan to take this a whole lot further. So for you guys out there that actually, like I said, like this video again, it's your boy AJ Red. And next time I'm gonna, have a little announcement about the drink of choice. I will be having several different drinks each recording. And yeah, hopefully you guys will be ready. So we'll actually have a couple of other sessions, that I'll be posting and letting you guys know about. And again, I'm a big Golden Girls fan. The shit sounds crazy, sounds weird. So this is one of my actual glasses I love to drink out of. I'm gonna have a collection of them. I have a whole lot of other shit. Sounds corny, sounds like a nerd, but oh well, who gives a shit? But anyway, again, it's your boy AJ Red. Again, hopefully you like the video. Hopefully you like the commentary. Again, like, subscribe, and comment. Love you guys. Look forward to the next video. And be breezy, love on somebody, and stay safe.